face is so close. Move back so I feel like my face is like right in the camera. I think I might put my glasses on just so I can see a little better. Thought I just cleaned these yesterday. Yeah, you'll just have to do. I'm gonna wait a little bit for people to come in, and I know this is my it's not my first live, but it's my first evening live on this channel. No, I can't do that. I was getting ready to say I'll play some music, but I'm sorry. I just saw something. But I don't want to get, the copyright thing. So I'm not gonna do that for the live, but I'll just wait a couple of minutes to see if anybody joins in. Any little latecomers. I know I was kind of my intentions were to post the notification like earlier this morning, but I think I just forgot. And I had to do some recording today, and I wanted to make sure that the video, the story time for today was uploaded, edited and uploaded, and typically I try to record in advance, but I didn't record yesterday. And so I had to record and edit and upload today, and I wanted to make sure it was out at the time that I wanted to be out. So that took some time. And then the days go by, like the days really go by so fast. Hi, Elizabeth, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining. I was just like talking about how, and this is for the people in the replay because nobody was on here first. Hello, Katie, how are you? I'm so glad you guys joined. Hi, Angel. I'm great. I'm fantastic. I was just talking about how I forgot to I wanted to put up the notification earlier this morning to kind of give people time. But it didn't get out until this evening because I forgot. I forgot. And then I had to record today. Hi, KJ. Okay, well, to each his own. I'm, this may not be the live for you, devoted dog, but okay. Oh, thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Katie. I really appreciate this. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Alec, let me know if I pronounced it right. Did your dad die for real? I'm very sorry to hear that. If you're being serious, like I don't play about death. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry to hear that. He died in Iraq recently? Hi, Yusef. I am very peaceful. I am very glad you all are joining. Thank you so much. I honestly really didn't think I really didn't think many people would come because I put the notification out so late. But oh, when you was 8. Okay. I'm very sorry to hear that. My dad died when I was 21. 22, and we were just starting to have a good relationship before he passed. That's going to be in Cage Girl too. That'll be in the book that'll be released next year. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I may release some stories here on YouTube. You never know. Just stay tuned. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I need to wash it. I'm getting tired of the puff, honestly. And my husband, believe it or not, does my hair. He puts it up in the puff because men have those bigger, like he tells me I don't have hands. Y'all see this is my hand. He tells me I don't have hands and I don't have feet. But you know, men had them big, strong hands, and he can actually tighten it, like grip it, and get it up there on the top of my head better than me. When I try to do it, child, it don't work. Arms be all tied and everything. So I get my husband to do it. I'm sorry, I'll definitely read them. Read what, Devoted though? Are you talking to me? If you are in real life, stand up. I don't know what that means. But thank you all again for joining. So let's get started because, well, first of all, my name is Tara Walker. If you are not a subscriber and you just jumped on, I really appreciate you for jumping on. Nice to meet you. And okay, Angel. And so my ministry, my podcast ministry is called Receive and Relate. And what the Lord has instructed me to do is just plain and simple tell my story. So I've been I have created a playlist and everything, and I've been sharing the stories of things that have happened to me. I wrote a memoir and I just published it this past September. And a lot of the stories that I've been telling y'all are in there, but there are also some stories that are not in there yet. That's what I was saying about Cage Girl too. There's a lot that has happened in my life, a lot. A lot, okay? And a lot I'm not proud of, but the Lord told me people receive when they can relate. So he said, share your story because there are people out there who can relate to what you've gone through or have gone through something similar, but don't have a voice or don't want to share it. And so I am here to be a voice for the voiceless. So this is actually my first story time live. Okay, if you have already been, like I said, following me, there's a whole playlist. I just released one this evening about an hour ago or hour and a half ago. There'll be another one released tomorrow. I'm trying to also stay consistent with it, so just subscribe. So now my question is, would you all like for me to share, just go ahead and share a story, or would you like for me to read out my book? Read a story from my book. Let me know in the comments. I should have brought me some water. Let me know if you would like for me to share a story. Just share it. Or would you like for me to read out of my book? And I'm also just trying to like get to know my subscribers and stuff like that, because it's one thing that, you know, to push the button and watch and listen, somebody to talk to a screen, but it's another to actually kind of get to know your subscribers and like build a community and stuff like that. So y'all still there? Well, it looks like the number is going down, but that's okay. Y'all let me know. If nobody comments, I'm just going to start sharing a story. Okay, glad y'all back. I was asking everyone if they want me to just share a story. Let's go ahead and just like share a story, or do you want me to read out of my book, which is right behind me? Here's my book. So my memoir is right here. It's called Cage Girl, obviously by me. And you see the spine, right? It's not no small book. And it took me a minute to write this book, but I'm very proud of her because it's not something that I wanted to do. But I'm just being obedient and doing what the Lord tell me to do. So if you all would like for me to read from the book, let me know. Or if you just want me to just begin to just share one of many stories, I can pick a chapter and start and just talk to you, or I can read, whichever one you guys prefer. I got one in mind, and I haven't released this in the video yet, so I might just go ahead and share it. I think I'll just go ahead and share it. Yeah, I'll go ahead and share it. So this one, I'm still gonna make a video though eventually. So this one is called this is in my book. This story is in my book, and the chapter is called oh, I thought it was on that page. No, it's kind of like a combination of the two. Nathan spent the night and caught in the act, right? It's like a combination of two. So I'll just go ahead and share it. So what had happened was I was in high school by this time. I was 14. It was my freshman year, and I met this guy through one of my classmates. He was her cousin. Now, the crazy part about this is I just left Ohio that same month, literally that same month, because school started back that year, the last Monday of August. So I got back like from Ohio like that weekend, like that, literally that weekend. And I had met a guy in Ohio. It was my cousin's classmate or I think that's how she knew him. And we fell in love, and he was my first love. You know, everybody has a first love story. He was my first love. And I mean, I fell head over heels over him, but it was actually on the phone, right? I fell in love with him over the phone. I hadn't seen him yet, but I trusted my cousin's judgment because she had good taste in dudes, right? Plus, he described himself, and I knew he had like a bald head, and I knew he was tall and he was dark skinned. And kindly, that was honestly, that was enough for me. Even back then, that was my type. But I think I was told by my cousin or him that if any of you know who Aaron Hall is, the singer Aaron Hall, he was a part of that group called Guy back in the day, that he favored him, but not just like him, but he favored him. I would later see him when on my last day there, and he looked 10 times better than Aaron Hall. He was, man, he didn't even compare. But it was just the dark skin and bald head thing. That's all that was the same. But I had fell in love with him. That's the chapter before this. So, but I'll probably put that on the video because it'd be a little bit longer. But I mean, I was crazy about him. But I made the mistake of two things. I made the mistake of not telling him. I allowed this cousin also to tell him the wrong age, to tell him that I was older than what I was. I allowed this, just like I allowed my sister, I allowed my cousin to tell him I was 16. And he was 17 though. He was not an adult, okay? That's the great part about it. He was not an adult. He was still a minor just like me. But I was 14. I was not 16. But we like literally fell in love over the phone. I fell in love with his spirit. He fell in love with my spirit, my personality. And it was like a movie. It was like a movie. That's not even what I was going to talk about, because the last day when I had to leave, he picked me up. He picked me and my cousin up and took us to the train station. But there was a guy that in the beginning of the month, I had a crush on before I met the person that I named Noah. I named him Noah in the book. But the guy never paid me no attention. He never paid me no attention the whole entire month. I mean, he spoke or whatever, but he never gave me the time of day. And all of a sudden, he came and was flirting so hard with me on my last day there. And I was like, why are you flirting with me now? You had all month. But I'll go into that story another time. But anyway, that guy was my very first love. But so now we move into high school, right? I left there. I started high school. I met this guy, I believe it was November. I started high school in August. I met this guy in November. I met him in the fall. And like I said, he was my classmate's cousin. And we also met over the phone. It was just a meeting over the phone year for me. We met over the phone. We liked each other too. Now, he didn't at first give me the vibes that the guy from Ohio, my cousin's friend, gave me. At first, like, it was almost, when we first talked on the phone for the first time, it was almost just like, it was weird. It really was weird because we connected like it was just like, I don't know. It was weird how we just connected really right away. But this guy, we was cool. But it wasn't like right away like the last guy. But it didn't take long. It didn't take much long for me to fall in love. And that, I think now when I think back on it, I think I missed the other guy so much, and so I was trying to like compare, or I wanted to feel that same type of love again, which I feel like I did, but it was more lust this time. It was more lust than love, but I wanted, nonetheless, I wanted a boyfriend, and you know how that is. So so um like I said, we met over the phone, and we're talking and every day, and we're getting to know each other and stuff like that. And then we decided to meet up. The first time we met up, one of my friends was having a bowling party, and I told him where it was, and he knew where it was. And he didn't drive yet. He was 17. No, and you couldn't tell me nothing back then too. You couldn't tell me. I had two 17-year-old boyfriends within months of each other. You couldn't tell me nothing when I was 14 and I had an older dude that was my boyfriend. You couldn't tell me nothing. Just fast, okay? But he was 17 also, but he didn't drive yet. Well, he didn't have a car yet. So he met me across the street from the party because I didn't want to bring him into the bowling alley. But my friend knew. And I went across the street and met up with him, hung out with him for a while, and we like made out and stuff. Let me tell y'all something. We almost got arrested because where we across the street was the mall, I believe, or some type of back of a store. And the back of the store had a staircase. It had a stairwell. And we went down the stairwell. Unbeknownst to us, somebody was watching us. So they called the police. I don't know, they thought we was Bonnie and Clyde or something. We was gonna break in or whatever. But they called the police, and the police, we was down there making out, right? Just kissing and stuff like that. Wasn't doing nothing but kissing. And we turned around and looked up. The police had walked to the top of the stairwell, and we scared him because he jumped back. I guess he wasn't expecting to see us there. So he was like this, and we was like this because we realized it was the cop, and he was like, oh, like that. But we still came on up the steps, right? And then he said to us, he said, I ain't mean to scare y'all. He said, I was just checking. Somebody called and said they seen two people go down here, whatever. So we was like, oh, okay, no problem. And then we like hurried up and like walked away from him. And so my by now I think he was my boyfriend. My boyfriend at the time, he was like, um, he said, I'm glad you was with me. Cause if he was with another dude, that probably would have went another way. And so I made a joke. I was like, well, first of all, why would you go down the stairwell with another dude? And he was like, come on, man, you know what I mean? But yeah. But anyway, so we made plans for him to come over so we could spend some more time together. So I ended up meeting him. I met him. There used to be a pizza place down the street from where I live called Shakey's Pizza. And so when I got off the school bus, I met him at the pizza place. And then we walked down the street to my house, and we we made out and stuff like that. And then he asked me, was I ready? Because I was virgin, right? And so he asked me, was I ready? And I was like, yeah. And so we tried, but it didn't work out because it was just too painful for me. And so he said, don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'll take my time with you, whatever. I love you. You know, all the things us little girls just want to hear, you know, sounds so good to our ears. And so he would come over again. And the same thing happened. Um, I was just, it hurt. I was just like, I don't know. How do people do this? Like, what is, you know, what is going on? I felt like my life was flashing before my eyes. So, but he was real patient or whatever. And then I remember we went to, not me and him, but we went to, see Janet Jackson that year. And it wasn't that's the way love goes. It wasn't that tour. I think that's Velvet Rope. It was the one before that. It was the CD before that, and I can't even think of a. I think Escapade was on that CD. Was on. Well, listen to me saying CD back then, right? I think Escapade was on that album. I think. Don't listen. This was 1994. 93, the end of 93, the fall of 93. So I can't remember whatever album Janet Jackson had out that then. That was her tour, and I had such a great time. It was me, my mom, my sister, and I think one other person. And I took a picture. The reason why I brought it up because I took a picture. I took a couple of them. I took one of the regular ones that you put in the has a little fold out thing, and then I took one to go on a keychain. So remember I said that, right? So I had these two pictures, and I had them on my dresser drawer. So now, this next time he came over, the next time he came over, my mom was out of town. My mom and my dad went out of town. They went to San Diego, I believe, California. And he came over, and I think, excuse me, now like looking back on it now and thinking about it now as an adult, I think he did it on purpose. But he stayed too late to where he said the buses wasn't running no more. But come to think of it, I don't think that's true, because I believe it was the weekend, and the trains and the buses don't typically stop running. I mean, I ain't no expert on buses and stuff like that because I didn't ride them all my life. But I don't think they stop running till like 11 p.m., you know, certain buses. But he made me think that he missed the bus, right? And the trains definitely run late. So I was like, well, what you gonna do? And he was like, I gotta spend the night. What you mean? I was like, and this story is in my book, y'all. This story is in this memoir right here. I said, what you mean spend the night? And so he was like, I ain't got nowhere to go or whatever. So I was like, but I think my mom coming back and my sister coming over here to see my mom. At this time we were by ourselves. I said, my sister coming over here to see my mom. And he was like, well, I just sleep under the bed. And I was like, what? Come again? And he was like, yeah, I just sleep under the bed. And I was like, well, first see if you can get under there. He said, all right, I'm gonna get under there. You get on the top of the bed, and I'm gonna and see if I can fit or whatever. And so he did, and he fit, and he said, see, I'm fine. Y'all, it was so weird. I'm like whispering, talking to my boyfriend underneath my bed, y'all. It was so weird. Hey sis, welcome. Share the live if you can. I'm not even sure how to do that here on YouTube, but I'm doing a story. I'm telling the story that I haven't given in video yet. It's about one of my boyfriends and this escapade. So where was I at? Right. So he's under the bed, right? He's under the bed, and we whispered in the dark. So by that time, my sister did arrive. My sister came, and she was in like, we had like a back family room or whatever. And so she's in the family room. I could hear the TV or whatever. We talking in the dark, and I was like, this is so weird. Like, are you seriously under my bed right now? And we was trying to keep from laughing because I was nervous, but at the same time, it was kind of like, well, my boyfriend is still here. You know what I'm saying? Like, so eventually I did fall asleep. I fell asleep. And my mom, I hear my mom, I've always been like a light sleeper. So I fell asleep, but I hear my mom walking in my bedroom door, right? And then all of a sudden, like I froze, like, but I'm asleep. So I had to like try to play it off and act like I was asleep. But y'all, tell me why this Bama moves. Like I could hear him loud and clear. To this day, I don't know how my mother didn't hear him. To this day, I don't know how she didn't hear him. I heard him like, you know, like you move your arm or whatever. I heard him move his arm. She didn't hear a thing because she bent over to kiss me and I was like, Mom, you know, trying to play it off like I was sleeping. She was like, what you doing awake, baby? And I was just like, I think I heard you, whatever. She was like, oh, I missed you, and whatever, gave me a kiss. And I was hoping she ain't sit on the bed. Because I didn't know how close or not close my bed was to the ground. And my weight already on it, right? Now I was a lot smaller than I am now, right? But still, she didn't though. She didn't. She left back out. When she left out, I was like, what in the world was you doing? Why did you move? Right? And he was like, man, I was just trying to make sure she ain't seen nothing. I was like, but you picked the worst time to do it. You could have did it before she opened the door. You wait till she get in the room and then scoot over. Like, come on, dude. But nah, we laughed, you know, as quietly as possible. And then ended up going back to sleep. And so the next morning, I was like, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because my mother will be here to wake me up. And thankfully, the way my house was built, that house, all the rooms were on the same level. We had an attic and we had a basement. So he didn't have far to jump out of my window to get to the ground at all. And so I let him out my window. It would have been probably about 5 or 6 in the morning. I don't even know if the buses was working. On their schedule yet at that time. I just was like, you got to go, because I can't take the chance of you coming out this bedroom. I'm sorry, coming out of this bed and she walking into this bedroom. So I put him out the window. I was like, you gotta go. We gave each other a hug and then he left, right? So now we get to the not so great part, right? So, and what I'm doing is I see people coming on and then leaving out and coming on and is, you know, leaving out. It doesn't matter because I'm gonna leave this live up for people to watch the replay. So hey, people on the replay. So the next time he comes, right? We try to have sex again. And this time I told him, because I was just, mind you, we was not using no protection. Not near one. And let me tell you how he convinced me. Even at 14 years old, it's like the oldest trick in the book. He was like, you know, I ain't with nobody else. I love you. I'm in love with you. You know, oldest trick in the book. So no, he didn't use anything. But when he was, you know, like inserting, I'm screaming, like, because to me, it just, I don't even want to think about it again. But it just was, it hurt. It hurt. To me, it hurt really bad. And so I'm not just like no little squinch. Like, I'm bellowing out screams, right? But this time I'm trying not to stop him because I wanted him to go all the way this time. But whilst I was bellowing out this particular scream, right? My sister, so again, you know, the floors are on one level and the front door is not that far. It's not that many feet from my room. And so usually I hear when somebody's coming in the house, usually I would hear the keys. You know, I would hear the keys turn or whatever. But I didn't hear the keys turn because I was too busy screaming. So it wasn't just her, it was her and my brother-in-law. And so I heard her say my name. Like, she yelled my name. Like, as concerned, you know. And she was like, Tara. And then this Bama, y'all. This Bama, when she opens the door, and I don't know how fast she got it, because I heard her say my name, but it didn't sound like she was right at my door when she said my name. But nonetheless, she was at the door when she turned the knob, and this Bama jumps off me and fly. My bed had a space between it and the wall. He flies off the bed like Superman into the crack of the space. Like my sister wasn't gonna see his chocolate behind flying across the. Like, you might as well just stay right there, because all of that was worse. Like, what was you doing? Like, what was you thinking? The same thing when he scooted his arm over when my mother walked in. It was just like, dude, what are you doing? So, see, my sister's face looked so disgusted. She was just like, get your clothes on or whatever. And so she left out the room. Now, this sister is 13 years older than me. So I'm 13. She, what, 26, whatever, 26, 27, whatever at the time. So she grown, right? So when we getting dressed, remember I said I had went to the Janet Jackson concert and I had them two pictures. So I think I gave him, no, because I think I kept the keychain for a while. I think I gave him the one that was folded up in the cardboard. And it was almost like I was giving him a parting gift, because it's like I just knew I wasn't gonna see I wasn't gonna see, either I wasn't gonna see this Bama again, or I wasn't gonna see him for a long time again, right? So I gave him the picture, and so we like giving each other hugs and kisses and everything. Like, we get ready to go face the fire, and it was so dramatic, right? But I was blown though, because that was my boo. He was my boyfriend, and I didn't want to be punished. I didn't want my mother to know. So, but at this time, I didn't think my sister would tell my mother. Boy, was I wrong. So we went out, and my brother-in-law was sitting there grimace with this grimace look on his face. My sister made him sit in there with my brother-in-law, and me and her going to the kitchen. And so she's yelling at me, what are you doing? You're only 14 years old and whatever. And blah, blah, blah. I was just like, please don't tell. Just don't tell Ma. Unbeknownst to me, while we was getting dressed, she had already called Ma and told my mother and told her. And my mother was already on her way home. Now, my mother didn't work that far. She didn't work that far from where we live. So it wouldn't take her that long to get home. When I was like, what? Why would you do that? All of a sudden, y'all, I just got dizzy and lightheaded. Like, my nerves, my anxiety was on. It went to like 200 as soon as she said that. Because I didn't expect, everybody be like, why you, when I tell this story, people be like, that's your sister, why she tell? To this day, I don't know why she told, but she was a lot older than me. So, I don't know, maybe that's the answer for that. But when my mother walked in the house, so by this time, we all in the living room together, and I was, because I kept saying, why y'all trying to make him stay? Why y'all make him stay? My mother told her to make him stay, right? So when she walks in the house, right, the look on her face, I remember this like it was yesterday. The look on her face, you know how when somebody they look disappointed because they thought it was gonna be a joke, but then when they realized it wasn't a joke, like their whole countenance, everything changed on their face. That's what happened. Like her whole face changed when she saw him sitting there, right? So she gets his information. She gets his name, number, address, and all that. And at the time, I didn't understand that. Now, as a full-grown adult, I understand that, because she wanted to make sure he wasn't lying about his age, like he wasn't an adult for real, and was just telling me he was 17 or whatever. So she got his information, and then she sent him on about his business, right? Then my sister she has this talk with me. Wait a minute, did she have to talk with me before my mother came or after? Nonetheless, I can't remember if she had it before my mother got there or not, but she had this talk with me, and the talk she was asking me questions like, did we use protection? She was talking about pregnancy and HIV and stuff like that, all the stuff I knew, but I didn't care, because He was my boo. You know what I mean? And and then after her, then I had to talk. Then I had another talk with my mom. And my mom assured me, y'all. She assured me that she would not tell my father. She was like, I'm not going to tell your father about this. I'm very disappointed in you, you know, but your father will be livid. I'm not going to tell him. But you know, you grounded. You can't see that boy, you know, for I don't know how long she grounded me or whatever. But I was just like, all right. I was, you know, ready to face that part. Like I knew I was going to be punished. I mean, obvious. That's my snitch, right? Excuse me, y'all. So I went in my room, and you know, at that time my father got off work late, so I either woke up to the sound of him coming home, or I heard him, or I heard his voice or something. But nonetheless, I heard him out in the hallway, and I heard my mom. It's like I had a knowing, cause she said hey, and he said hey, and then her voice got low, and when her voice got low, I was like, she telling him. I said, she telling him. She promised me she wouldn't tell him. And don't y'all know, about 5 seconds later, my father bust in my door, yanked me up out of the bed by the collar, and smacked me so hard across my face. Now, by this time, I was not getting along with my father at all. Like, I literally used to tell people I hated him. The close friends that I had at the time, I can't count how many, countless of times it came out of my mouth that I said I hated my father. But he wasn't physically abusive. He gave me ironically, right? He gave me the first beating I had when I got caught kissing a boy in school. The teacher told on me. The teacher told my parents, and he whooped me with that big fat police belt, that big thick leather police belt. And that was the first time he had never spanked me before that. My mother spanked me, you know, with them skinny belts that came with the slacks. She spanked me. I wasn't a bad kid either, you know what I'm saying? But that was his first time ever, and that literally, like, that almost like destroyed me, because you know, my father used to be the apple of my eye when I was younger. So, but this time he smacked the daylights out of me, and it hurt. And I cried, but I think I cried harder at the fact of him hitting me than even the situation, right? Cried myself to sleep, woke up. The next morning, went in to take a shower, and I had a scratch on my lip. My lip was my up here was bleeding. And so I thought my nose was bleeding, and my nose don't never bleed. And I'm looking in the mirror like my nose not bleeding, and I realized it was a scratch, because my father had long nails. Like, these are my nails right now. My father had long nails too, not this long, of course, but that's how hard he smacked me. He scratched me when he smacked me, and then he yelled at me. He was like, "You're going to reform school." I didn't even know what reform school was, but apparently the way he said it, I knew it was something bad or something that I ain't need to be a part of. So the next morning, I'm devastated. I get on the bus, and I still got tears in my eyes. And one of the young ladies on the bus was like, "What's wrong?" And I had told her what happened, just venting. And she was like, "Reform school? What? For that?" And I was like, but I didn't want to sound uneducated. I didn't want to ask her, like, well, what's reform school? I didn't even want to ask her. I later found out. I don't know how I found out later on. I don't know if I asked somebody or what ended up, but I found out later on it's like school, like for like bad kids or whatever. I was like, man, I go back like I robbed a bank or something. Like, I had a dude in the house. Like, but whatever. But nonetheless, I didn't go to no reform school. I stayed right there in the high school I was at. And then eventually, you know, just like they do, you know, he couldn't come and see me. So we snuck, you know, I tried to sneak and call him from time to time, but you know, it eventually died down, wore out. He ghosted, you know. I think I found out, somehow I found out, I think he cheated. And I was, ooh, it was my first heartbreak. I mean, my first heartbreak from being cheated on. I was devastated after that, but that was the end of him. I actually had never seen him again. I am still friends with his cousin. We friends more so friends on Facebook, but my husband know his cousin too because we all met in middle school. We actually all met in middle school, but she and I still remain friends. And when I went to high school too, even though they went to the same high school, but I went to a different high school. But we still remain cool, and that's how I met him. So, but yeah, that is the story. That is 2 chapters of this book combined. One is called Nathan Spend the Night. I actually did 3 because I said busted by the officer when when the police officer saw us. Nathan spent the night and then caught in the act. And I'll still eventually probably release that on a video for those who didn't who missed this live. But that is the story for tonight. Like I said, I'm gonna leave this live up. And so for the people who watch it for a replay, again, hi. People on the replay, hey y'all, hey. I'm gonna try to do a couple more of these. I had a few people come in the beginning. I don't know what happened to them, but it's all good. You know, this is my first time doing this live. I think I'm gonna do it again. And I just want to say too again, this is my memoir, Cage Girl. This is my first baby. That's how the TikTok girlie do it, right? This is my first baby. This is the story of my life from basically birth to 18 years old. Well, 6 o'clock was 6 o'clock. 6 years old was when the first molestation happened, and so that is so 6 years of age to 18, and then Cage Girl 2 will, God willing, will be released next year. We'll start from 18, and the Lord just got to tell me when to stop. Cause so here's the thing, my life is still going. To be honest with you, my life, I know really people be telling me my life, the people that have prophesied in my life said, your life ain't even really begun yet. And I just be like, whoa, really? Like, because I've been through some stuff on this side, okay, of my life. But I'm looking forward to what God has in store in the future. But yeah, he told me to write my story, and then he told me to tell my story. So that's what I'm doing. And please like and subscribe. I would hope you will. I hope you would. Sorry. I hope you would. I hope you are enjoying story time if you already been watching. If not, I have a whole playlist. Each new one I release is at the top of the list. Matter of fact, I gotta put the one from tonight at the top of the list. So it goes from newest to oldest. And I also will, can I type on here? Oh, that's a poll. That's share. Oh, I didn't even know I could share. I could have shared. Yeah, I don't think I can type on here. But the link to my memoir, I have it in paperback and ebook. So don't feel, I know a lot of people don't like to buy the actual book. They like ebooks. I got you. Okay, I got both options for you. I typically leave the link in the description box of my stories, my videos that I leave out. I thought I could link something here, but I don't know how to do it. And I'll just have to try to figure that out later. But it's also in the bio, and it's called my Stand Store. And it has the link for my ebook and the link for my paperback. And it also has a link to schedule. I coach as well. If you would like some one-on-one counseling, the first 15 minutes are free of charge. And then I do charge for the rest 45 minutes. And yeah, so I hope to see you guys again next time. Let's see, today is Tuesday. My husband is off tomorrow. I like to spend time with him on Wednesday, so I may come back and do another live story time on Thursday. So you guys just stay tuned. Watch the community tab, because I typically try to post there every day. I try to post and schedule and let you know that what time story is dropping, and now I'll be sharing what time a live is dropping as well. So just stay tuned to the community tab. I am also on other platforms. I am Tara Walker Worldwide on TikTok. That is my page. The podcast page is just like here. It's Receive and Relate TV on TikTok. I am on, excuse that in the background. I don't know what kids is in the alley right now. But I am Tara Walker Worldwide also on Instagram. And then the podcast is Receive and Relate TV also on Instagram. TikTok is just Receive and Relate. Sorry about that. TikTok is just Receive and Relate. Hi, Carlita. Hey. Hey, girl. Hey. Facebook is Tara Walker. And then the podcast page on Facebook is Receive and Relate. So, I am just on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram and YouTube. That is enough, okay? And to be honest with you, I'm really more active more on YouTube and TikTok. It just seemed like I had the most engagement from those two places. I'm trying to get, because I got like 2,000 something followers on TikTok, so I'm trying to get a lot of them to come over here and subscribe. I think a few of them had, but I'm trying to get them to come over here. So, because I'm trying to build community, you know. Carlita, if you don't mind, if you would share to your folks, because I'm trying to build a community and get some more subscribers while I'm over here telling my whole entire business, because the Lord told me to. Not volunteering. The Lord told me to share. And I don't know if you know, but I wrote a memoir, sis. And this is it, Cage Girl. The link is in my bio because I don't know how to put it on here. And I have it in paperback and I have it in the ebook. So if you don't mind supporting your sister, I appreciate it. Or sharing, I appreciate that too. And so yeah, this will conclude my first story time live. I think I will come back Thursday and do another one. So stay tuned. Remember, people receive when they can relate. You'll never know the impact that you can give someone by sharing your story, by being a voice for the voiceless. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm leaving it up. I said that too. I said, because I had a few people on here when I first started. I was very shocked. I don't know what happened. They left. But I kept saying I'm leaving it up for the people in the replay. I'm gonna leave my lives up. And like I said, I was doing another one on Thursday. I'm sorry. This extra I did not mean to press play. It varies. It probably be around the same time. I came on here about 7:30 on Thursday, so maybe 7:30, 8 o'clock on Thursday if you're free. Yeah. But thank you for dropping in though. That means the world to me. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. And that's it. Anybody? Well, I think that's just you on here right now, Carly. You got any other questions or anything? Because I'm about to close out. And yeah, like I said, my link for the paperback and ebook will be in the bio. And it's in the bio. And it's easy. Everything is right there. The link for the ebook and for the paperback and for the coaching. Everything is all in my stand store right there. And yeah, and so that's it. So yeah, like I said, remember, people receive when they can relate. I love y'all, but know that God loves you more. Okay. I love y'all, but know that God loves you more. Till next time. Bye.